وأصلي وأسلم على النبي الكريم محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أما بعد, on behalf of International Institute for Muslim Unity, I welcome you all, our honorable participants and honorable speakers, to this third session of International Conference on Eradication of Poverty, which is organized by IMU, International Institute for Muslim Unity, and in cooperation with IIBF, Institute of Islamic Banking and Finance, and other NGOs. So, first of all, I invite you to recite Surah Al-Fatiha for the sake of barakah. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين So today in this session we have three speakers to deliver their presentations and experiences related to the financial resources and poverty eradication. The first speaker will be Dr. Sayyiduddin, Dr. Sayyiduddin Muhammad Sayyiduddin.
Speaker.
Sorry?
Yes,
yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Can we go with can we go with Dr. Zahidul Islam first, because I am still loading the software in laptop.
Oh, do you want Dr. So, okay. Dr. Zahidul Islam.
Yes, doctor. Do you hear me?
Okay, this Dr. Zahidul Islam has completed PhD and Masters at the Ahmad Ibrahim Kulliyah, Faculty of Laws, International Islamic University, Malaysia. He has achieved valuable experiences in research work based on research evaluations. He was honored the IOM Postgraduate Niche Area Scholarship 2013-2014 and President Scholarship 2014 to 2015. He has written articles on issue on human rights law, media and communication law, film censorship law, and constitutional law in local and international journals. He has also attended several local and international conferences. He has expertise on human rights law, media and communication law, film censorship law, and constitutional law. Between 2013-2015, he was elected as president of Postgraduate Students Society, faculty level at Faculty of Law, International Islamic University, Malaysia. Between 2015-2016, he was elected also as General Secretary of Postgraduate Students Society at International Islamic University, Malaysia. Currently, he is working as an assistant professor at Ahmad Ibrahim Kulliyah at IOM. Before joining International Islamic University, Malaysia, he worked as a lecturer at Faculty of Law, Islamic University, Maldives. So, Doctor, welcome. The mic is yours. 25 minutes, inshallah.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Do you see my slide? Can you see my slide?
Yes, yes. It's okay.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidil anbiya wal mursalin. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon, good morning. At first, I would like to thanks to our honorable moderator for brief introduction. Okay, and I would like to extend my thanks to the organizer for inviting me for this session. Just I have 25 minutes, so I have to go very fast. So I will talk about fundraising and financial sustainability of NGOs. So do you hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. If anything, so you can just raise your hand and you can ask me a question. So today I will talk about fundraising and financial sustainability of NGOs. So non-governmental organization, NGOs, we'll talk about NGOs. Everyone knows already what is NGO. NGO is an organization that is formed independent from the government. Yeah? It is independent from the government. There is a body to regulate the NGOs. It operates independently of any government, usually one whose purpose is to address a social or political issues. So when NGOs established, they have some purpose, established for fulfill some purpose. For example, some NGOs they are doing their purpose is for the society. For example, education, health, okay, environment, okay. Yes, some NGOs are just giving facilities or try their focus on education. They are helping the poor people. They are helping free education. Sometimes they're encouraging children to go to school. Okay, they are working related to educational job actually. Then some NGOs working about legal aid. If you need any legal help, you don't have any lawyer or you don't have any enough money. So if you go to them, they will help you by their lawyer. So in this case, you don't have to pay. So they are working free legal aid service. As some NGOs, they are working with health, okay, free medical camp. They are giving medicine. Recently, during the COVID, we saw many NGOs, they are giving the mask, okay, just campaign for awareness for the vaccination, okay. Yeah, social awareness. NGOs also working for social awareness, okay, different type of social awareness, for example, child marriage, then family planning, okay, different type of social awareness. Okay. Yes, we have many NGOs working about environment, okay, global warming, then to protect pollution, water pollution, air pollution, etc., etc. Yeah, Greenpeace, an international NGO working with the environment. Okay, many NGOs actually working globally and locally. For example, CARE, then Danish Refugee Council, Islamic Relief, Oxfam, Action Aid, Save the Children, Amnesty International. These are international NGOs. And if I talk about local NGOs, we have many NGOs in Malaysia, ABIM, Absolute Malaysia, Mercy Malaysia, Global Peace Mission Malaysia. Okay, so many NGOs are working in Malaysia. So many NGOs working also from agriculture. Yeah, now, if we see the list of NGOs internationally or locally, we see many NGOs working very nice. Okay, many NGO working, conducting their program once a year, once a month, like that. It's depend on the finance actually. The money is the main thing for the NGOs. Okay, to conduct a program or to conduct activities, money is necessary, very important. So I mentioned earlier that it is not a governmental organization. So they are not getting any money from the government. So they have to raise their money. So how the NGO raising money from here and there? So first of all, NGO raising money from corporate donor. Or corporate donor means, for example, when you organize any program, they are going Maybank, CIMB Bank, IDB, Islamic Development Bank. Then many international organizations, they help organize some programs. So accordingly, they take money from the international organization. Then they can raise money from individuals. How they raise money from individuals? Direct marketing. We always sometimes we get email. Yeah? donate for poor, donate for education. Okay, sometimes maybe direct mail by post. Okay, and advertisement, we see Facebook, we see, okay, donate for these people, donate for poor. Yeah, online advertisement, billboard, newspapers, magazines. Okay, they're giving advertisement and they're collecting money from the individuals. Sometimes they are raising money from us face to face. They are going door to door. They are going to Dr. Saiduddin, then Brother Al Rashidi, and other here and there. They are calling, brother, we need some money. We are helping people, okay, poor people, or sometimes we are giving scholarship to the poor student. So they are going door to door and they are raising money. Okay, sometimes they are raising money by event, okay, concert. We saw earlier, okay, they bring many very popular singer, actor, yeah. Last time Shah Rukh Khan came to Malaysia, okay. Some international actors, actresses, they came, singers, they came, okay. They had the singers, actors, actresses organize some event, and they announced that ticket price of this event will go to this charity or these NGOs or this trust, okay. So they are earning money like this. Sometimes they are also earning money by gala dinner. They organize some dinner, okay. In the dinner, okay, they announce for the health, people health through the dinner, okay, walks, sports, many ways they are earning money, because money, they are not getting any money from the government. Sometimes they provide some service and they give minimal charge for that. This is also the source of income of an NGOs. So we just saw how the NGOs raising money from for their activities. So financial sustainability. So for at NGO, financial sustainability is very important. Okay. So if I mentioned earlier, many NGOs working internationally, CARE, Islamic Relief, Action Aid, Oxfam, we know these NGOs because these NGOs organizing, conducting their program all over the world, okay, always. So we know them because they have financial sustainability. Many NGOs in the list, we don't know them. This is very new to us, but they are in the list last 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, because we don't know them because they don't have financial sustainability. They fail to conduct their program continuously. They fail to conduct their activities continuously, so that we don't know them. So for the financial sustainability is the capacity of an NGO to generate revenue locally or internationally to continue their programs or activities. So if any NGO have enough money to conduct their activities through this year and next year, what type of activities they will do, they have enough source of income. They know, okay, next year we will have this program, so we have enough money for this program. Following year, okay, we have this program, okay, we have enough source of money for that program. So if it's like that, that means they have financial sustainability. Some NGOs, they're organizing some program, okay, next year they don't know they can organize or not because they are not sure about their source of income. So for the financial sustainability, a few things very important for the NGO. If they want to establish sustainability for their finance, they have to establish a sound financial management practice. Okay, sound financial management practice is very important for the NGO. Sound financial management practice involves the process of managing the present and future financial resources. Okay, there is a body on the NGO, the management. If this practice sound financial management, that means they have a strategy, they have a plan. Okay, we have this money, we have this source of income. So this source of income we can earn money, we can take money, we can get money. Okay, 5 years or 10 years or next year we will earn money from this source, this source, this source, and this program will continue next year and following year. So ensure the financial sound management, sound financial management ensure that the organization able to secure long-term funding from the donor. Okay, they secure the long-term funding from the donor. Okay, how they will take money from the donor, how they will contact the make happy the donor. Okay, everything they will plan. Okay, they have a strategic plan to conduct their activities. So income diversity. So NGOs, I mentioned earlier how they're raising how they're raising fund. They're raising fund from corporate donor, individuals, okay, face-to-face, door-to-door events, okay. So if any NGO depend on only corporate donor, it will be difficult for them to attain financial sustainability, because for the COVID, maybe the corporate donor, their business is not good, they stop paying. Okay, then where you will go, or where the NGO will go. So if they have multiple income source, income of diversification, if the one source closed, another source is open, so they can continue their program. So income diversification is very important for an NGO for financial sustainability. Okay, own income generation. Okay, own income generation. Some NGOs they have own income source. For example, sometimes they are just giving some service and taking some minimal services. And some NGOs, they have some own property, market, shopping mall, or something else, a profitable source of income. Okay, some NGOs, they have a member, okay, all over the world, and annually they take the membership fees. For example, Amnesty International, I'm a member of Amnesty International, so every year we pay the fees, okay, to conduct their activities. Then we have internet society. Then we have many human rights organizations, okay, legal aid. Okay, if I give an example, in Bangladesh, we have one organization, they are legal aid organization. They are giving legal aid to the poor people. And when you are going there, they take very minimal charge. For example, maybe 5 ringgit, 10 ringgit. Yeah, they have own lawyer. So if any family matters or criminal matters or any other matters, okay, they are giving their lawyer. They're helping them in court, and sometimes they're helping for mediation. Okay, if they fail for the mediation, they go to the court. So they have some own income source actually. So another example, if I want to give you for the income diversification, I saw some NGOs, they have established their own market, and every month they're getting the rent for the market, from the market, and they are getting the money from them. They have financial sustainability because they convince the corporate donor that every year you are giving me money, because for this, maybe in future, if you are not good in business or anything else, if you stop, so we can survive, or we can survive. So give us some money, we want to invest here and there. Okay, they invest accordingly and they earn money. So good donor relationship management. Good donor relationship management also very important for an NGO for the financial sustainability. So you have to make your donor happy. Okay, if sometimes the donor purpose is okay, we want to help only the poor people for the education only. Okay, some donor, they are interested to help for the health sector. Some donor, they're interested to, okay, they don't have any specific area. They want to see, okay, we don't have any specific area, just we want to do any community service. When you will give service to the community, when you will hang the poster, okay, we want to see our logo there. So if they are happy to see their logo in the banner, so make their banner bigger and post here and there. Maybe they're happy with that. It is their, maybe it is their marketing policy. So as for the financial sustainability of an NGO, the very important is a good donor relationship management. So you have to understand your donor, what they want, what is their purpose. So accordingly, you have to make them happy. You have to go to them, you have to inform, okay, you are giving this money and we are spending this money here and there according to your direction. So if they see, okay, you are just very good, you are using money very carefully, you are serving their purpose, okay, they may help you and they will continuously help you. But if they see that, okay, they are giving money and by their money, you are traveling overseas here and there and you are using business class ticket, you are staying in 5-star hotel, okay, and your balance sheet, okay, your annual report is not consistent, okay, you spend more money in your expense here and there, okay, you're supposed to expense more money to the community for the people. So if they're unhappy, maybe they will stop paying. So if they stop paying, so you will not able to continue your activities. So financial sustainability is very important for an NGO to continue, and good donor relationship and management also very important. Okay, in Malaysia, if you want to take registration for an NGO, then you have to go to the proper office under Societies Act 1966. You have to go and you have to register according to the proper office. So under Securities Act 1966, they mention how you will take a registration for an NGO. So if you go accordingly, you can take a registration and you can continue activities locally and internationally for the community. So that's all. If you have any question or anything else.
Thank you, Dr. Zahidul Islam. Dr. Zahidul Islam mentioned the fundraising and the financial sustainable of NGOs. He talked about sound financial management practices and income diversity on income generation and good donor relationship management. So I think Dr. Zahidul Islam questions in the comments will be after presentation by Dr. Abdul Majid. If you allow us to manage like this. Okay, now we can move to second honorable speaker, Dr. Sayyiduddin. Dr. Sayyiduddin.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you, yes.
All right,
Just,
okay.
let me introduce you. Dr. Sayyiduddin is currently working as a senior lecturer in the program of Sociology and Social Anthropology, Faculty of Social Science and Humanities at University Malaysia Sabah. Dr. Sayyiduddin received his bachelor degree with honors and master's degree in sociology from National University Bangladesh. Later, he studied sociology and anthropology and completed his MA in sociology and anthropology at International Islamic University Malaysia IIUM, and also accomplished his PhD from the same university in Malaysia. He has completed postdoctoral fellowship full-time from Kulliyah of Islamic Reveal Knowledge and Human Sciences at IIUM. His research specifically focuses on community development, poverty and migration and health care, expatriate performance and adjustment, sustainable development, and other related development issues. Having profound knowledge and expertise in quantitative and qualitative research, Dr. Sayuddin has had remained involved in teaching and research, attended seminars and conferences, and published papers in reputed journals. Welcome, Dr. Sayyidul Ad-Din. The mic is yours. أهلا وسهلا. 25 minutes, inshallah, if it enough.
Can you see my slide?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, Brother Muhammad Yal Rashid, from your nice introduction. And thank you to, the organizer to invite me to to share my knowledge in a particular topic given me. So thank you to the International Institute for Muslim Unity and Islamic Banking and Finance, IIBF, for inviting me this occasion. As also, I would like to my special greetings to my colleagues, my previous lecturer, my previous speaker, Dr. Muhammad Zahidul Islam, once is a close friend of mine, and also my greetings to all my IUM alumni and my respected teachers also here. I can see, okay. So as you can see, my topic today is the role of social and charity financial resources in combating poverty amid the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. So the outline of this, the outline, not moving, yeah. The outline is like I'm going to start with a concept of charity and its influence of religious belief on social welfare. Then I would like to more focus on poverty alleviation and Islamic philanthropy, which includes zakat, waqf, and sadaqah. And also one of the main components that we have to concentrate in recent times due to the modernization is the using technology in Islamic philanthropy, and also some concluding remarks. By starting this hadith, I would like to start with this hadith. Indeed, the men who practice charity and the women who practice charity and they who have loaned Allah a goodly loan, it will be multiplied for them and they will have a noble reward. Al-Hadith 57:18. So by this hadith, we can say that how charity actions has been given emphasis by the religious perspective and Islamic scripture. From the beginning, that how we can deal, how we can help, how our behavior is motivated to, to help others. So charity has been given emphasis not only Islam but also other religions like Judaism and Christianity too. Therefore, much of the historiography of charity to date focuses on institutions. For example, if we look at the see the comparative history in Ottoman Empire, what happened? The Emirates play a crucial role in providing services to the poor. For example, social and spiritual services to the urban poor. And also the most commonly charity was distributed at that time, the food, shelter, and clothing. And these are the universal elements of charitable distribution and the tradition that we can see from the beginning. But what we can do now to tackle with this COVID-19 poverty, which is devastated by every corner of the world, not only the only one group or one nation, but irrespective of nationality, irrespective of groups, colors, genders, migrants, refugees, everywhere. It's reached everywhere, and all countries affected by this. And most probably the most impact is that the poverty is increasing, and the scientists, the academicians, the policymakers is now preparing the policies that how can they deal with this new situation. Because one of the scholars recently said that the world history will be divided into two: before COVID-19 and after COVID-19. So now the structure, the construction of the social framework, political framework, everything is going to reframe with this COVID-19 effect. And what we can see today, the increase of poverty, and if it affects the particular lower income groups, the middle class families, those are, like working with a part-time or even full-time. Many people are unemployed due to this COVID-19 pandemic. So the businesses affected, by the public institution, government institution, everything affected by the economy, the social impact, the relationship, the interaction, the people are totally changes this scenario. So here is the projection. If you can see the pre-COVID and the after, even last year, now is more worse. This report saying that how changes the poverty rates due to COVID-19 pandemic. Then if you see the next slide, here is some example of COVID-19 that the most countries hit, the 10 most countries according to the report, which is India, Nigeria, Congo, and Bangladesh, Ethiopia, Philippines, Mali, Kenya, and Venezuela, and Burkina Faso. So these are the most heated countries, and changes the poverty ratio with this COVID-19 pandemic. Now, how can we deal the social scientists? I am from sociology and anthropology background, but this is a very, this kind of, from the anthropological perspective and sociological perspective is a very interesting topic for this, but it is a gap. There is a gap that the sociologists and anthropologists have less emphasis on these topics, like the charity foundation or Islamic philanthropy of charity, all these things. However, the most one of the article was published is very interesting, is by Jonathan Bethan, and where he observed that that real progress is progress. Oh, can you hear me? What happened? I saw some.
Yes, we can hear you, Doctor.
Okay, real progress is progress in charity. All other advance being secondary tier 2. So after he's investigated in Muslim lands, the many countries, then he find out, give this projection that the real progress in charity. So that's why today I brought this, select this topic to all of you, because individuals' acts of charity towards people experiencing poverty and collectively what charity is understood to represent a society are widely perceived as necessary and positive. So now even if we look back to the 200 and 300 centuries years before, charities have been significant players to varying degrees in the delivery, for example, welfare services. Even though there is a restrict and there is a different opinion on the concept of charity, but it was in the historically also previously the Elizabeth I in 16th century has classified 4 types of charity at the time: the relief of the poor, the advancement of education, the advancement of religion, and other purposes beneficial to the community. So these are the historical evidence. Also, we can see the social sciences perspective, what some scholar distinguishes philanthropy from charity. While philanthropy addressing structural causes of social problems, and charity constituted a means of direct assistance to others. And for Rich, charity is giving away money for property for some other regarding purposes. So that means that charity, it could be the provision of one's time, giving away of property, including money. This academic definition and the terms of charity definition is very important to me, I think, that how charity is given from the inner side of a people, like motivated is by compassion. And the foregrounding of compassion draws attention to charity as an act of giving to people in need, especially people in poverty. So it is the act of compassion that animates charity, that differentiates it from instrumental behavior. Again, he explained, charity focuses on the actor's caring motivations and willingness to sacrifice his or her interests. It makes no reference to the consequences of the act, other than that the act is performed out of love or compassion. In fact, personal gain from the act duties its moral values. So you see, charity is coming from something, the moral values and the compassion, and which is motivated these things. Before we go this point, and also it is sometimes charity to the helping or aiding to the charity to the poor is also criticized by the scientists, that is not alleviate the poverty. It's purposing those are providing the charities is the purpose they wanted to purify themselves. So there are also many debates on that one. Anyhow, we see that the influence of religious belief on social welfare. So this is also behind the religious influence is also one of the important point we have to take a note. The study of poor relief involves several disciplines. For example, like theology, economics, and sociology, they have a interdisciplinary research while conducting with a social charity and philanthropies in the religious beliefs. For example, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam have dealt with poverty and charity throughout the history. All three religions taught that charity could not be eliminated. Giving to the needy was a pious act. The major distinctions concern actually who exactly was worthy of charity. This is the most research going on. Who exactly was obliged to give it and what form of charity was to take. So religious ideology guided the actions of the beneficiaries, but so did aspirations for power and prestige, as strengthening religious solidarity and desires to help the vulnerable. So that means these also issues involved, and we cannot deny the religious influence of social welfare from the past and all religious perspectives. So both Judaism and Christian scriptures, if you see that, they recognize poverty as an inherent part of the human condition, right? Regardless of time, space, and society and culture, according to the religious scripture, that there will never cease to be needy ones in your land. You see, which is why I command you, open your hand to the poor and needy kinsmen in your land. So that means they emphasize that the poverty will not demolish from the land. So you have to, everyone should open their hand. And also Matthew 2:6 and 1:1 describe that the poor are always with you. So how successful was religious philanthropy in meeting the needs from the poor from the past and from the before? So actually it was started, all religious perspective, if you see that it is started, and the historian, they say that if you study the background, the historical way the charity is going to, if you see the development of hospitals, the spread of development hospital, it was to provide the sickness and poor people, for the health services, but not the establishment of the medical establishment, but to provide the sickness and poor to help. So the establishment of hospital is one of the examples in Judaism, Islamic lands, and also Christian lands. Now we move to the poverty alleviation and philanthropy in Islam, which is, I am going to cover most of the part. So Islamic teaching have introduced institutions of zakat, waqf, and sadaqah for poverty alleviation and promoting social welfare. So zakat is considered one of the trusted method of poverty alleviation as per Holy Quran and Sunnah. Sources Mustafa Raza Rabbani, ETL 2021. So zakat actually derives, it is a verb from zaka, which means to purify, also with the connotation of growth of increase. So the notion of purification and return, these two terms is there. Purification, the root meaning of the zakat appears in many contexts. Feeding the poor allows believers to explain sin and expiate sin, and giving up a portion of their wealth in alms also, them to keep the rest of the wealth intact. So return is at the heart of the distinctive Quranic idea that the circulation of wealth must not take place only among the rich people. So it should be go to the, those are needy and return. So these are the two terms, purification and return, is described in oil Muslim scholars or social scientists discuss on zakat. So poverty alleviation and Islamic philanthropy, zakat, this zakat eligible to whom? In other of their presentation in the Quran and Sunnah, Quran Surah Al-Tawheed 960, the poor, the indigent, zakat system administrators, people with hearts in need of reconciliation, people in bondage, the debt-ridden, people upon the way of God, the warfying displaced. So we can say that it is obligatory for all Muslims. It is must complete, compulsory, and one of the one of the main 5 pillars in Islam. One of the pillars of Islam that has direct economic bearing on the distribution of income and emancipation of the poor. Then we can say that it is a fair distribution of wealth and income, because when you have a wealth, you have a portion of excess, then you can distribute. So this is the wealth distribution of wealth and income. So in calculation of an ethic of self-reliance coupled with the means to remove the causes of begging. So by this, we can remove this, and engendering fellowship and elevating group animosity. So that means you don't have creating any jealousy or anything, because you are giving your portion to others also. And also it helps the security against hunger and disaster, because if you see many countries, even Islamic world and other world, what they use for this fund they use for national fund, national disaster. Now we have this natural disaster, this pandemic. So this is the crucial time to deal with this situation. And security against homelessness, it was used also. So Islamic history demonstrates that zakat has used as an effective distribution scheme in taking care of the poorer sections of the population in Muslim societies. So therefore, it solves the problem of poverty. We can say that with the consent of the rich, and punishes those who hoard and monopolize and try to conquer the markets. Under the ideal scheme that wide, so we can say that observance of zakat would make possible the rich do not become poor, but the poor are poor no longer. So this is the main important thing that we have to take note. The rich do not become poor, and the poor are poor no longer. Now, zakat is considered also one of the trusted methods of poverty alleviation as per Holy Quran and Sunnah. So now how we deal with COVID-19. It can prove to be an important Islamic finance tool to fight the adverse consequences of the COVID-19. Zakat is compulsory payment of wealthy Muslims, and they are obliged to pay it as a part of their religious duty. COVID-19 affected people around the world, right? Especially the poor, can be provided with the essential items and or cash or relief. It is best suited to help the poor during even lockdown, or what we call the MCO or EMCO, right? Where daily wages laborers and migrant workers have nothing to feed their families. Now, the second option, second Islamic philanthropy and poverty alleviation is emphasized by scholars is Waqf. Zakat is, as we know, one of the 2 major Islamic, institution adopted for modern fundraising. The others is Waqf. The institution of Waqf, the Islamic equivalent of the charitable trust or foundation, the trustees, known alternatively as hubs. In North Africa, dates back virtually to the founding of Islam. With its legal status consolidated in the 18th century, it spread over almost the whole of the Islamic world. So that, for example, between a half or 2/3 of the lands of the huge Ottoman Empire were Waqf at the start of the 19th century. So how Waqf, you see, it is a voluntary charitable act that has wide economic implications and can play an important role in increasing sources of welfare. Number two, we can say that Waqf can be in the form of immovable assets such as land and real estate, and in the movable assets like, for example, as cash, grain to use as seeds. Number three, we can say that apart from the religious matters, Waqf can be established for provision of socio-economic relief to the needy and the poor, including education, healthcare, and other social purposes. Number four, Waqf can be used for providing public utilities and research as well as to serve animals and the environment. Number five, Waqf sector becomes the most important institution for poverty alleviation. As you can see that how Waqf impact in the socio-economic services. You see, number one is it can fulfill the basic needs, housing, disaster relief, food security, clean water access, sanitation and facilities. Number two, religious and faith-based like mosques, Islamic schools, research. Number three, education, universities, schools and research. Number four, health, hospitals, disease-related medical research. Then communities development, business associations, unions, workplace development. So a Waqf may be structured on an underlying immovable assets such as real estate. It may be structured as a cash Waqf, utilizing financial assets and to generate returns. So these are the Waqf has a wide range of impact in socio-economic in the society, and so does the poverty alleviation. So another term we can see that sadaqah. Sadaqah also extinguishes sin as water extinguishes fire. When a person dies, all their deeds and except three: a continuing charity, beneficial knowledge, and a child who prays for them. So how important is this to donate or to provide charity? This is how we taught this one. So number one, we can say that voluntary act of charity that is given for the sole purposes of pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and without expecting anything in return. Number two, we can say that sadaqah is also, it purifies one's own wealth, but also help to establish a flow of wealth in society. So that means you are contributing to the society, you're contributing to generate other people empowerment by providing sadaqah. Then Muslims are bonded together by the good deeds of giving, as well as the economic stability in the continuities and the communities through the distribution of oil. And finally, the investment in this real and hereafter. So this is also, so how this, from early Islamic history, Waqf institutions have led the way in creating economic and social change. For example, Waqf have been aged over zakat and sadaqah in many ways. Not only are they highly flexible regarding structure and changes to the asset mix, but they can also be applied to a broad range of causes. Most importantly, they serve as investment vehicles and multiply the social impact of source funds. So these are the some example. If you can see that the Waqf are creating social and economic growth. For example, the institution Waqf An-Nur Corporation in Malaysia, Hamdard Foundation Waqf, it is India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Then Tabung Waqf, Indonesia. Then Islamic Solidarity Fund for Development. Then Social Islamic Bank, Bangladesh. So these are some of the, Waqf institutions, organizations, which is really, plays a very huge impact in the society. So Waqf and Sadaqah, we can say that it also helping to, eradicate poverty during this COVID-19. How? Waqf has been considered as social financing tool over the years, and it has played an important role in sustainable financing for many poverty alleviation programs, such as education, health, disaster relief, and so on. The idea behind Awqaf in Islamic finance goes beyond religious significance, and it can be used for larger community development. Awqaf can be an important financial tool during COVID-19, as the wealth collected through Awqaf can be used for the welfare of COVID-19 affected people, and objective of the larger community engagement can be achieved. So by this, we can achieve the larger community to feel, to feed and food and provide the necessary shelters. Then Sadaqah is also another Islamic financial tool arising from the principles of benevolence. Sadaqah is voluntary offering, and its amount is at the will of the benefactor, because it's nothing fixed. It is nothing fixed that how much you can give the Sadaqah. It is up to you. As is evidence from its basic nature, Sadaqah is the best suited to be used as a financial tool during the COVID-19 period and its consequences afterward. It can be best utilized to help people stuck in lockdown and people who have lost their businesses and belongings during COVID-19. Islamic banks and financial institutions can be assigned and Sadaqah distribution responsibility to bring more effectively and transparency. So this is also, I could say in conclusion, we can say this one also. If we look at the abroad, the European also Islamic charities, which also based on, there are few charities based on also, funded by donors, and these Zakat, Sadaqah, and Waqf, like one of the example charity called Al-Muntada Al-Islami and Muslim Aid. They are also based in Muslims in European, like Britain, and also they are helping others also. Then in Egyptian case also, we can see that how this Islamic philanthropy, this charity, Zakat, and all these things are working during the flood, during the disaster, earthquake, and natural disaster. Muslim Brotherhood, they are giving the shelter, mosques to the people to help these things. So one of the most things I'd like to add, the using technology in Islamic philanthropy. So the technology advances, and now the donors, they try to also give the, I think this is also covered by Dr. Muhammad Zaidul Islam, that donors now paying the online base, and you can, so we have to update in every aspect from Zakat, Sadaqah, and there are many apps is out there. Now we have to build also apps to numerous example we can show that, like recent technological changes driven by the fourth industrial revolution creates an enormous transformational impact on the economy, can be translated also as digital economy. So innovation in technologies such as mobile technologies, automation, artificial intelligence, and blockchain made the charitable donation easy and transparent. So this is also most important thing we need to consider. Nowadays, donors prefer to contribute using the technology as they are easy to track, with a substantial portion of charitable giving remaining offline. So there are online and offline also, right? Increased use of mobile apps and online platforms are giving new solutions, especially as donors can give directly to those in need without using intermediaries, because during this COVID-19, the transportation, the communication, the traveling is very restricted, and there are many new rules is coming. So the charity organization need to be adopt as much as possible the giving the donors to reach out the donors with usage advancement of technologies, make sure the donors are also feel safe, secure, and they find exactly the fundraiser, the charity foundations, so that it can be reached to the around the world or people. For example, the two technological innovation, we can say that Muslim giving, peer-to-peer finance. It is a UK base which reached huge donors around the world, and donors finds also the fundraisers. So it is easy to use for them. And also another mobile apps, it is called Zakatifi. Zakatifi is also try to, simplify the Zakat obligation and provide donors with a variety of Zakat eligible charities. So it reaches the donors feel comfortable to use those things. So we need to also advance to this. Now, excuse me. In concluding remarks, we can say finally that Islamic philanthropy, Zakat, Waqf, and Sadaqah has potential role in combating poverty in COVID-19 pandemic, right? So modern technology like we have to use all these things, and innovative financial solutions can be accelerated role on Islamic philanthropy, can easily play poverty reduction. And also, I think most importantly, cooperation and collaboration from government organization and non-profit organization are required. And most importantly, the charitable sector also a major employer. So many people also can employ on this, adding with this technology and other things. So we can say that Zakat, the immediate cash benefits nature of Zakat makes it one of the most important tools to help COVID-19 affected people, all stages and work for. It can provide long-term solution to poverty like created due to COVID-19. Sadaqah also it can utilize in providing food and cash to the laborers, daily wages, and migrant workers. Then, but we need to also have a committee or any ministry or anything. I think they already have a supervision to minimize the abuse and maladministration. So, and also in this case, also organizations like also Islamic banks and financial institutions, they also can be assigned the Sadaqah distribution responsibility to bring more efficiency and transparency. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Jazakumullah khair, Doctor. Thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad Sayuddin. Doctor talked about important issues relating to the role of social and charity financial resources in reducing unemployment. He talked about the impact of religious beliefs on reducing unemployment and social welfare. He also talked about the role of Islamic economics in reducing poverty through zakah and waqf and sadaqah. And he also talked about the importance of technology and promote Islamic philanthropy. Thank you, Doctor. Now we can move to last honorable speaker, Dr. Abdul Majid. Dr. Abdul Majid?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Dr. Abdul Majid Ubaid has completed PhD and Masters in Sidi Muhammad bin Abdullah University in Fas City, Morocco. He worked as a lecturer at the University of Aden from 2011 to 2016. He also was selected as Dean of the College of Holy Quran in Radfan Kulliya in Yemen. And before joining a lecturer at the International Islamic University, he worked as a researcher at the International Academy for Sharia Research, ISRA. He has 4 books, all of these books in field of Islamic finance and economics. He also has published more than 40 articles in peer-reviewed journals, and he attended more than 40 local and international conferences. Dr. Abdul Majid also he is a supervisor of many students at the master's and doctoral levels. He holds the IOFI International Standards Certificate, and he is currently working as a lecturer at the Institute of Islamic Banking and Finance. Welcome, Dr. Abdul Majid.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Can you please stop sharing?
Could you please stop your presentation? Okay.
Okay. Give me now. Bismillah. Slide clear?
Not yet. Wait. Okay, now you can go.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wassalam ala Rasulullah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawalah. I feel grateful when I talk about such an important topic This is an and I will be among with distinguished scholars in this discuss. This my topic today is methods of the Holy Quran in combating the poverty. So, yeah. So this is keyword about my presentation. First of all, poverty is reflection of bad economic situation. So when you talk about poverty, we talk about state of economic. State of economic, that means the poverty is as a term of economic. So that means we need science, we need some particular tool to understand the poverty. This is some character of poverty. It is a state or condition in which a person or community lacks of financial resource. Sometimes poverty, the income level from employment is so low, and poverty, there are a lot of reason to rise this state. So we need understand the poverty part of time of economic to ability to fix this problem. This is the first. The second, when you talk about poverty, talk about complex phenomenon. Complex means sometimes you have money, but you don't have system to separate the money. Sometimes you have system, but you didn't have resource. So we need some recipe. We need some smart recipe to reduce this poverty. So this is a consequence of lack of growth and inequality, and it is need effective policy, not just for individual, institute, society, and something in warrants, social media. This is a big problem. This is a big problem of not just in this modern life, but in history. So also, when you talk about poverty is not personality defect. Not personality defect. What means this? Means this Allah, when Allah create us equal. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. We have created the human in the best way. That means we have all ability to understand, to learn, to training, to get the opportunity. But sometimes we don't have environment. Sometimes we don't have some rule, some bad policy. So we need to fix this. Also, poverty is scarcity mentality. Scarcity mentality, that means something relative of mine. If you have if you think about poverty, think about food, water, something basic in your life, you kill the creative in your life. الإمام الشافعي, he said, إذا اشتغلت بشراء بصلة نسيت مسألة. If I was busy by buying one onion, I will forget one issue in scholars. That means should be clear in your mind to get new topic, new opportunity to create something new. So this is hadith لا يقضي القاضي وهو غضبان. What does it mean? This means this غضبان جيعان. If something injury, if the judgment injury, while he injury, he avoid to get the decision for the issue. Because why? Because he is angry. So I bit pretty looking for the word injury and injury. I found some relating between angry and hungry. So the word here, if you look in the hungry, cues of confuse your mood, confuse you look in this situation, so you get wrong decision. That means security mentality. So Islam imposed zakat and charity to basic income guarantee. This is basic income guarantee, free and boarded. So if you look in history, you found Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, he fights the people he refused to get poverty, zakat. This is the first battle to define the right of the people, of the poor. This is some debate between Umar radiallahu anhu and Abu Bakr. So why you fight him? And they said, La ilaha illallah. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he said, I will sure fight those who separate pray and zakat. Because zakat is not favor, it is obligation. So this is the policy of Islam to reduce poverty. Element poverty, not privilege to poor, but right they will deserve. So that means يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن والأذى. All who believe, don't invalid your charity by remember the poor. I will remember. I will give you. I will. If this is wrong, and this is the invalid the work. Also, we see here poverty harms standard of human dignity. You know, when you Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he seek refuge, refuge between disbelief and poverty. The question why Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam to put disbelief and poverty the same sentence, and why Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam he asked Allah Azza wa Jalla to refute this thing, because if somebody because the poverty lead to lie, lead to crime, lead to do something wrong. Another point of this hadith, we willing, ambition to spread Islam over the world. This is good, but we should willing to reduce the poverty the same level to nashr or to spread Islam. This is very important, and this is smart phrase from Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if you look here, this is how many times the Quran mention zakat, charity, poverty, al-miskin. If you look here, you found zakat 32, charity 73, poverty 40, al-masakin 9. So what does mean in the science of terminology? The social aspect is strongly exists in Quran. That means the Quran book of defends the right of poor, not just the right of poor Muslim, no, Muslim and non-Muslim. And if you look here, more than 125 terms talking about zakat, sadaqat, charity. And if you look also, Allah has combined zakat and prayer in more than 25. So this is وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة. To be brave, to go to mosque, this is very easy. But if some thing related to the money, a lot of people he didn't obey. This is hadith. So look here. Now, when you talk about Islam, always our mind stick with zakat, waqf, qard hasan. This is good. It is good. But Islam not just talk about in how can you how you what is the way you give the poor. No, this is element the production process. If in economic we have worker, we have produced good, we have financial transaction rule. We have three parts of the sector of process products. So in Islam, work should be has a lot of character, ethics, skill, training. قال الله جل وعلا عن يوسف عليه السلام اجعلني على خزائن الأرض إني حفيظ عليم. Give me surety of the storehouse of the land. Why? Why? Because I am knowledgeable and guardian. I have experience. I have ability to earning the money, to keep the money, to investing the money. And another hadith, Abu Dharr al-Ghufari radiallahu anhu, he is one of the Sahabi in Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He told him he will be in the Jannah, in Jannah. But here, when he asked Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam to give him public officer, he said, no, you are weak. And this is amana. And this is authority. That means why? That some position needs some experience. And not everybody has experience. Experience is the leadership, some character, the science, some Sahaba radiallahu anhum, this divided work. Some of them in scholars, some of them in judgment or court, some of them in this. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He create us as this. So worker is very important. So we need look for worker training, scholar to improve skill, to get new experience. So when you took here in goods or produce, Islam talk about quality. What does it mean quality? Quality, this is hadith. إن الله يحب من العبد إذا عمل عملا أن يتقنه. Allah loves if a servant does a job, he should master it. Master, quality master. If you look here, quality here in this the next slide, what is this? This is in horse. Horse mentioned in Quran, الصافنات الجياد. الصافنات الجياد. Jihad, this is some terminology of jawda. Jawda is quality. So if you look in horses, you found strength, hardness, speed, competition, flexible. The goods, the products should be as this, because you are in marketing. You are in marketing. So this is very important for us to look at this. We here look in financial transaction rule. Financial transaction rule. Islam prohibition riba, al-gharar, al-jahala, and he developed contract and he accept to create new contract. This is all this help us to improve our quality. If you look here we talk about quality. If the quality in your goods and your products high, the demand will be high. The price will be high. The industry, the manufacturer, observe the employment. If the and the circle will be continue. Quality of goods, increase demand, increase price, and observe the employment. This is very, very important, because somebody talk about zakat. It's okay. Al-Qarad al-Hasan, okay. But here, we should look for here, because Islam, he talk about in amana. Inna aradna al-amanata. What is the amana? Amana, it is the trust, to be trust when you work and you employment. So now here, there are some fundamental of Islam dealing with employment. Work is worship. Work is worship. Obligation work. وَأَن لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. This is a very important ayah. So we are body, soul, we are name. This is character of human being. We are history, present, future. We are here in the earth short time. So وَأَن لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. Just what they do, what they lift, what is your action? What is your action? So the man shall have nothing but that he strives for. And Al-Quran Kareem, he said, "Udkhulul jannata bima kuntum ta'malun." So this is go to enter the paradise by what you did in this world. And another issue, unify the labor market. Unify the labor market. This is very important. Establish justice and enable supply and demand. Equal opportunity. Equal opportunity. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, somebody go to outside the city to buy the goods. He said, do not go to meet the caravan on the way for buying the goods without let them know the market price. That means why? That means should the marketing to be in unified. Everybody, he has goods, he has experience, he has skill. You can give him opportunity to afford what is you have. So another issue, embody at-takaful. When you talk about takaful, also when you talk about takaful, you talk about waqf, zakat, qard hasan. This is good. But the circle of takaful in Islam start by should you takaful with yourself. Then, Ya Rasulullah, I have 1 dinar. He said, consume with yourself. I have another, consume with your family, with your wife, with your son. With the circle continue, start from yourself until your society and your neighbor, your parents. So this is Islam recommend us to care around us. So now here there are some approach to set of measure in reduce poverty. Positive measure, preventive measure, and corrective measure. Positive measure, income growth and functional distribute of income equal opportunity, and here preventive measure, control over ownership and preventive of malpractice. And here corrective measure, we have zakat and we have recommended of charity and another issue of Islam. So we have here, we have ayataini in Quran. فإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض. فإذا انتشروا, this is verb انتشروا. when the Jum'ah Salat is finished, you may disperse through the land. In Tishru, move on, not just the one place, but divided the place. That means you should look for a new experience in your life. Another ayah, الذين تتوفاهم الملائكة ظالمي أنفسهم قالوا فيما كنتم قالوا كنا مستضعفين في الأرض. So the angels come to take the soul and ask him, why do the wrong work? Why? And they said, we were abrasive. We were undertaking authority. We don't have any option. We don't have any chance to change our life. Quran said, "Alam takun ardullahi wasi'atan." This was not the earth of Allah space widely. So why don't immigrate? Why don't leave this earth? So that means why that it should be look for the new opportunity, should be do another place and look some trick to protect yourself in everything. There are three verbs, displace and to move. And the Arabi, he come to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, he asked the money, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he commanded him to go to pay X, and he said, go, then come after 50 days. That means take time to get experience, how to train in this issue. And I hope I reach this information. The very important we should look for Islam is the theory of Islam to reduce poverty, not just zakat or waqf. Not, I believe zakat waqf enough. I believe zakat waqf enough. But we look in our work, in our industry, in our marketing, we need to change the character or the mind of the employee, the job to be create, to be looking something new, creative. This is very important for expand the marketing. Wa subhanakallahumma bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
جزاكم الله خير دكتور. جزاكم الله خير دكتور عبد المجيد عبيد. Thank you for your interesting topic. Dr. Abdul Majid talked about the methods of Quran and Sunnah in dealing and combating poverty and unemployment in Muslim society. He talked about how Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, motivated and encouraged the poor people and low-income persons to start their small enterprises. So now we can move to open the field of questions and comments. Please, our honorable participants, raise your hand. Anybody has a question or comments, please? Okay, Hadi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Yeah, this is Dr. Shamsa Al-Harthi from Muscat. I would like to thank everybody for the lectures, and as a person who's working at the charity, and I'm in the field of social development for more than 23 years, appreciate to be with you today. And my question, I would like to ask Dr. Zahiruddin. He mentioned earlier the difference between charity and charity and waqf, I guess. And one, it's about giving, and the other one, it's more sustainable. I would appreciate if you can give me more details about the differences between the two things, because also I like the concept of that we are going in the future to split the world when we talk about development in charity, pre-COVID and post-COVID. And I believe the effect of COVID was very hard to many people around the world, even here in Muscat. But we managed through the organization, the charities, and the work to overcome a lot of problems. But to prevent the society in the future and to alleviate poverty, I think we need to have more information about how we can work in a systematic way to prevent poverty. Thank you very much.
Dr. Saiduddin. The mic is closed. Open the mic.
Assalamu alaikum. Dr. Al-Hatti, thank you very much for your comments on that. So, as I can see that the comments you have given me, thank you for your feedback. First of all, the Zakat and Akaf, as I said, that Akaf is sustainable. Like there are many, it's a broader, it's a large area you can capture. That means there are many Akaf institutions in the historically also, and also now I have given you a chart that like Hamdard in Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Indonesia also they have these branches, and Malaysia also they have Akaf. So these are the larger institutions can have impact on sustainable development and also at the same time, Zakat is also given to emphasize, to resolve, to eradicate the poverty. The need is one, and that's why I brought these 2 points. This also Sadaqah, that with this COVID and post-COVID time, that we have to put this emphasis. At the same time, we have to reach the people who has in mind to provide these instruments by providing the technological, the apps I'm talking about, because we have to emphasize that using the technology, creating the apps and websites, also this, so that we can tackle during this COVID and post-COVID also situation bit. Because yeah, there was a many critics in academic way of that how can Zakat and as I say that previously also how can Zakat or charity reduce the poverty. But as a scientist, also social scientist, they say that there are many critics, but it is hard to give any alternatives. So we have these Islamic teachings. We have to, based on this, go step by step to utilize those ideologies. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So anybody else? Lina Al-Akhbari, welcome.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, I would like to thank you for moderating this session and for the speakers. And I would like to say about, the INGO. the large number of NGOs around the Muslim countries is limited or increasing the poverty in the Muslim country. And as well, Dr. He said that the zakat and the waqf and the sadaqah, it's enough. Yes, it's enough. Is one YouTuber is in the, he just raised in 24 hours $1 million. That means that the khair is in this ummah still, and then it's enough for all the Muslim. But they were talking about the experience, what the doctor said, Abdul Majid, and the quality of this is enough to reduce the poverty in the Muslim people. Don't talk about the corruption. Corruption is around the world. Don't talk. There is the many countries they have a war, and they have. We can have example about Rwanda. They have a lot of problems there, and then now with the RC, they have a good sustainable there. Relieving people who have a problem, yes, we need to do that, but we need to work. Sustainable has to work step by step near the relieving. We need to know what we should do. We, as academic, we are talking about the zakat, we're talking about, the sadaqah, we're talking about the sukuk, we're talking about all the source in Muslim. But how can this affect Muslim and become like, reduce the poverty we have it? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ali. Dr. Abdul Majid, do you have any comment?
Wait. Yes, Shiri. This is a very important topic. Yes, as I mentioned before, zakat and waqf, it is enough. But the question is, who is give the zakat? How many millionaire in Muslim? We have. I work as a supervisor, the student who is from Saudi Arabic, and one city in Saudi Arabic, more than $160 million. This is the amount of zakat. Yes, zakat. So zakat enough, but we need some organization of zakat, and investigation of zakat. We have experience of Beit Tamwil Kuwaiti. Beit Tamwil Kuwaiti, he has some new idea. What is the way we can not give the money, but give the experience to the poor to improve himself. Another issue, yes, we have a lot of problem in the world of Islam. I know that, and if you look the number you found, the most country reduce the poverty in Islam. I believe that, but there are some conditions, some environment. So we need some measure to fix the problem, because not the problem, not the money. We have money, we have source. We are the rich country over the world, but we need organization, and we need something to fight corruption. And I work as a supervisor of the students from some country. I found a lot of number, something crazy. If you look the number of corruption, yes, this issue need, as I mentioned before, need skill and society, individual, institution, and social media, because this problem or this issue, the issue in this world, in this modern, maybe we shouldn't see any board that is supposed to be. Because why? Because the world full of the money, full of the wealth. But this is not injustice, not equal this opportunity. But alhamdulillah, we have We have some institute of microfinance. We have some. We have now more than 1,000 institute of Islamic banking finance. We have work, and we have some effect. If you look of, for example, الوقف النقدي in Indonesia, or for example, if you look this crowdfunding in Malaysia,
yes.
you found a lot of. Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Abdul Majid. Thank
Yes.
you. Now we can select to Brother Adam. Go ahead, Brother Adam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all for this topic. It's a great topic. I just need to ask, as we know, riba is haram in Islam, and it's big haram. So why the government still using riba and borrowing money from other countries and paying riba? And we know this will destroy the nation and destroy the country. I just need to know why they continue to doing this and what you think about what's going on in Turkey. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Dr. Sayuddin, can you answer him, please?
Thank you very much, Brother Adam Hassan Al-Bari, for your questions. I think, please, I like to forward this to our third presenter, Dr. Abdullah Ubaid. He is the right person to talk about this.
If you allow, I want to add something.
Excellent. Yeah, great. Please.
Okay. Yes, riba is haram. We know it's haram. But why we are practicing? Because, yeah, according to Islam, according to Quran, it's haram. But we are practicing because, for example, if you talk about Malaysia, Bangladesh, okay, this country, we are Muslim country, but we are not practicing Islam. We are not a Quranic country. We are not Islamic Republic. Our Muslim majority country actually. But we are actually practicing the constitution of the secular countries, secular constitution. Okay, though we are talking about Islam, but we are practicing a secular constitution, secular principle of state policy, so that though we claim we are Muslim, but we are not practicing Muslim. Only we are praying. Maybe we are giving zakat or not, we don't know. Yeah, this is the main reason actually. So yeah, I understand, brother, your feelings. So we should move on. We should move on. Now the Muslim countries, we can see that all the Muslim countries, they have Islamic banking. Yeah, Islamic banking. Our third speaker already mentioned Islamic banking growing very fast. Yeah, Bangladesh a few years back we had only one Islamic bank. Now every bank they are opening Islamic banking. Okay, another branch, Islamic banking, CIMB Islamic, City Islamic. So if you want to avoid riba, then you can open your account there. You can continue your life accordingly. But yeah, it is good as a Muslim. I hope not very far. Inshallah, we are moving very fast. So one day the riba will be prohibited or haram by the state, inshallah, by the countries, and we will move forward. Inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Very interesting questions by Brother Adam Hassan. So, honorable moderator, what about our third speaker, Abdullah? You want to say anything about this?
Adam.
قال فاطمة جود كنا بنجود مشاكل الربا. Why Islamic countries still يعني كده؟ why في الربا يعني؟ ليش حرمنا الأشياء كلها مخلينا في الربا؟ نعرف إن الربا عندنا بيجا سوسايتي ولا في كوفيد ولا نفسها. يا ما حد قدر يجاوب إلا هذا بنغلاديش. قال صحيح إنه الربا محرم في الإسلام والسنة وكذا، لكن إحنا أساسا إحنا مسلمين، بس إحنا قوانيننا كثير سيركولات.
Can you raise your sound?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, Dr. Siddin, if you have a comment about this or move to another question.
I didn't hear the question.
Okay.
I'm sorry about this.
Is there anybody has any question or comment? Please, before close this session. Okay, thank you, our honorable participants and speakers. Thank you very much to attend this session. Now I invite our staff, Associate Professor Dr. Fatmir, to for closing this session. Welcome, Dr. Fatmir. Dr. Fatmir is Deputy Director of International Institute for Muslim Unity at IUM.
Yeah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Yeah, thank you very much, Brother Mohammed Rashidi. So I would like to thank you on behalf of the Institute for moderating this session greatly, alhamdulillah. And the most important thing, we have to thank our speakers. We have Dr. Zahidul Islam, who focused more on the related to his concept paper about, the Waqf and how the charity could be worked when it comes to the institution that he comes from, and he gave us a good example. And when you look at the second speaker, that is Dr. Mohammed Saiduddin, he talked about the zakah and how to make a way forward in order to help the community better and how to monitor that. So that is maybe what we have seen here from the two speakers. It is based on the understanding that they have, and so perhaps we can see more when it comes to the application. But we are going to have a session that is going to deal with the application later on, inshallah. And what is interesting when I look at Dr. Saudin, that he mentioned the other two religions. When I look at Judaism and Christianity, how Jews and Christians used to practice this institute of, how to help and how to contribute to the society. And of course, looking at it from that perspective, of course, there is a difference, because when maybe it could be more said to differentiate between what does Islam say and how these terms are used according to Islam and according to both the other two religions. Most because they do not have, they might have the idea of helping, but how do they do? Do they have? Is this a part of religion? Like we have zakah, for example, we have sadaqah. So maybe that you have to make it a bit clear that that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. And of course, when you look at the third speaker, mashallah, Abdul Majid, so he focused, the most important thing that when you look at the Quran, so he provided the platform and the methods that have been mentioned and how they were practiced by Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and giving us examples. So this is very important. And another important thing that perhaps we did not, maybe it was better if to see the reality. When I look at the reality today, during maybe some of you, they managed to provide this kind of explanation during the question and answer session. That was great, So you touched things related to the current situation, how to cope up with the COVID pandemic that we are facing now. And as we know, all of and some of those participants who raised the questions, so they are eager to know more about the application. And most of you, they touched the things related to those who are going to deal with this kind of fund that is raised and how to eradicate poverty. So we are talking about the personalities that are dealing with this. And of course, it's not easy to have this kind of characteristics, and we find difficulties when we are going to employ people to help in distribution of this donation that is given by different people or different Muslims when I look at our community. So Alhamdulillah, so this is great opportunity for us to listen from all the three experts here, and we evaluate that and we appreciate very much your contribution. So as it has been mentioned to you that we would like you to further improve your papers as we're going to publish, inshallah. Maybe this will help you to improve. The question that were raised by the participants here, they were very important. I see that very important, you know. So I think this will help you a lot. Huh? So this is what I can say when I look at the session of today. And of course, on behalf of the Institute again, I would like to thank all of you and the sincere apologies for our director, Prof. Dawood. He's busy, he couldn't make it to, of course he'll be here, but because of some, matters that he couldn't attend this session today. So that's why he asked me to thank all of you on behalf of him, and I'll convey your message to him and for the session, alhamdulillah. So with that, I would like to close this session by recital Surah Al-Asr and Tasbih Kafara. Okay, I think that will be all. So maybe Brother Mohammed Rashid would like to say something about the next session. So for my part, I thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Fatmir. Just remind our speakers and participants to attend the fourth session that will be next week. جزاكم الله خير. بارك الله فيكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you very much, Prof. Fatmir.
Welcome. في أمان الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Remember?
Yes.
Habibullah Zakaria.
Nice to see you all.
Yeah, we have Dr. Habib here. MashaAllah, Dr. Habib, nice to see you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fatmir.
Thank you, moderator, Brother Muhammad Yasser Rashid. Thank you very much.
Welcome. في أمان الله. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.